Hello and welcome to this Red Gamer Tech video. Myself, Amata, where as always I'm here with the latest and greatest from the tech world in the last 24 or so hours. And unfortunately, we're going to kick things off today with a bit of a sour note regarding Radeon 7. So, you may have seen recently, back in January of this year, so a couple of weeks ago. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is. Anyway, there were rumours circulating that AMD would only be offering the reference design Radeon 7 graphics cards at launch, and then the numbers will be limited, and there was sort of implications from AIBs that the quantity of Radeon 7 was quote-unquote strictly limited. Now, AMD did come out and say that that was not the case, and basically said that they got enough to meet demand. And they said, quote, "While we don't report on production numbers externally, we'll have products available via AIB partners and AMD.com at launch of February 7th, and we expect Radeon 7 supply to meet demand from gamers." Fast forward to today, because there is a bunch of reports going around that the stock here in the UK and also elsewhere in the EU, so that being France and Spain, have a very limited supply if these reports are correct. So, let's start off with the UK, because that is actually what surfaced first. So what actually happened here is a member of staff posted on the Overclockers UK forum, which is one of the most popular retailers here in the UK, I would say, for buying your parts online. And this member of staff posted that they have been allocated just 44 units of the Radeon 7. Now, they did stress they are expecting more on the way. 58 further units are expected tomorrow at Overclockers UK. But as they themselves say in their post, quote, "UK has less than 100 cards for launch. So far we have 44 cards. More are due any day. So we essentially have just over half of the UK launch allocation. Next wave shipments are not yet confirmed." Now, I just want to say that all of this is unconfirmed at the moment, because obviously, how do they know that AMD only have 100 cards for the UK? It's unlikely that a single retailer has a complete picture on the total number of cards being shipped across the country. They would most likely only be privy to what they themselves are receiving. I would be surprised if they were knowledge to much more than that. So do take this with a pinch of salt. Of course, it is entirely possible this employee has other contacts, has heard it from an unnamed source. Not saying this is impossible, I'm just saying to take it with a pinch of salt. So let's not panic just yet, as it's entirely possible that this information is incorrect or out of date, or they've got their wires crossed or whatever. Just keep it tucked under your hat, but let's not panic just yet, as I already said. But as I said at the start of the video, we do have further reports regarding the supply of Radeon 7 elsewhere in the EU, that being France and Spain, courtesy of the French tech publication Cal Cotland. Now, the source for this is going to be linked in the description below this video, but it is in French, so if you can speak French or read French to be more exact, be my guest that it is there for your perusal. But according to this post, there are only 20 cards allocated to both France and Spain each. So I would fully expect some sort of comment from AMD soon, because surprisingly, these rumours are very much doing the rounds around the internet. Obviously, AMD were very quick to sort of say, no, don't worry, we have enough stock to meet demand. Previously, when we had those rumours back in January, so I would expect some sort of comment from AMD. Or maybe not, maybe they'll just let the numbers speak for themselves when Radeon 7 releases, which of course is expected to be, launching, should I say, tomorrow. So, we'll know soon enough just how true or false these statements actually are. But let's move on from AMD over to Nvidia. Now, this is regarding the GeForce GTX 1660 Ti, as we have yet more listings for this particular graphics card, as we have several listings for two different models, one from MSI, one from Palette, by Russian retailers. So we have the 1660 Ti Storm X and Storm X OC, which are single fan graphics cards, but we see the Gaming Pro, which is dual fan. So as I say, we have several listings which you'll be seeing on screen, which show that, yep, this is indeed a 1660 Ti, and a few of the specs, and obviously a bunch of more information which is in Russian, so unsurprisingly I can't read it, but most of the pertinent information is there, like 1660 Ti, the fact that it's MSI, the fact that it's Palette, and of course, again, the specifications as well. But that's not the only thing we actually have for the 1660 today, as we also have a listing being spotted in AIDA64, which very much leans into, yep, this card is coming out. Nvidia are preparing to release the 1660/1660 Ti soon, and again, this it's pretty much confirmed at this point with it appearing in the AIDA64 latest update. Now, of course, we don't know for certain what the specs are, of course. We've had a bunch of rumours and some sort of speculations going around, but nothing concrete. The one sort of consistent, well, not the one consistent, but one of the most consistent things I suppose you should say is the fact that apparently the 1660 series is not going to have ray tracing cores, which is obviously why it's called GTX, not RTX. Now that would make perfect sense, to be quite honest, and I would expect a lower price tag due to that, but we don't know for certain. So 1660 Ti and 1660 is definitely been a bit of an interesting one. We of course have been discussing the leaks and rumours surrounding this graphics card for what feels like, well, an age, to be quite honest. So I'm definitely interested to see this finally revealed by Nvidia, to see what the specs actually are. But the all-important thing I would say is definitely how much this graphics card, or graphics cards I suppose I should say, is actually going to cost, especially given that apparently it's not going to have ray tracing cores. We don't know if it's going to have any tensor cores. At the moment, we haven't really heard much about that. Personally, I think the ray tracing cores not being there or being disabled is most likely going to be the case. Again, that would enable them to shave a lot off the price, and of course they've been criticised heavily for the expensive nature of all of the RTX cards, especially in comparison to Pascal. So it would make perfect sense for them to release a stripped down version of one of their touring cards, but obviously without the ray tracing, and make it clear that it is just a GTX card rather than RTX. But of course all of this is pure speculation. It could, you know, have tiny elephants inside for all I know. Anyway, that's not the only Nvidia piece I have for you today. No. We actually have something regarding Softbank. Now, they are well known in Japan and of course outside of it as well for long-sighted strategic investment, especially within the technology industry, and they did something that has definitely caused a lot of Silicon Valley types to look twice, as they have announced a sale of its entire, and I do mean entire, Nvidia shareholding, which was valued, rather should I say, at the end of December the 31st, at roughly $3.6 billion US. So that is pretty nuts, and this comes on pretty much right on the heels of the news that Nvidia have lost about 50% of their value in the wake of the cryptocurrency bubble bursting, and of course the demand for the RTX cards not being as high as expected, most likely at least in part due to the higher cost, and of course the fact that they've still got a bunch of Pascal cards sitting around, again due to the production of those during the height of the cryptocurrency craze. So this is by no means, you know, a death knell for Nvidia, and all they're going to pack up, and, you know, Jensen Huang's going to be there, you know, with a sign on the street corner saying, you know, we'll build graphics card for food or anything silly like that. But it's definitely a bit of a blow for Nvidia. But despite saying that, their stock is actually up today. So while it definitely is a bit of a blow they could have done without this, overall their stock is up about 3%, at least at the time of recording. But that is very much the nature of stocks, up and down like a yo-yo, it feels like. So this is definitely a bit of an ouch for Nvidia, but it's far from the end of the world, let's just put it that way. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Honestly, guys, it really does mean a huge deal. Do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really does help out a ton. And give this video a share, or any of our videos a share, really, if you'd be so inclined. Anyway, that is me done for this video, as I already said. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.